just for reference, I did. Oh, go for it.
We're live. All right.
Alrighty.
Sweet.
Alrighty.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. So
We're doing it. We're
yeah,
live.
all of us are here. So everybody, welcome to the Basic Nerd Experience. I'm your host, Elliot. You know who I am. This is your host for the most. That looks like a ghost.
Oh shit.
So
That was slick.
So yeah. And so today of course we have the lovely, the talented Andres.
You already know what it is. How you doing?
And we got some awesome dudes here. We got Johnny and Dylan from All New Nerds. We're still waiting to see Levi if he's pending. Yeah, guys.
He is in another live stream, but we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, he's busy. Oh, he's a busy boy. Okay.
Yes,
he's a busy man.
He's a busy body.
Man.
Yeah.
It's a busy bee. So
Yeah.
So well, why don't you introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Dill.
All right, I'll start us off then.
Okay.
I'm Dylan. Me and Johnny are the creators of All New Nerds, and we let Levi tag along. Yeah, and it's and it's been great. Yeah, you can find us over at All New Nerds. We talk about Star Wars,
basically on everything.
Yeah, Star Wars for the most part, but
so.
we also talk about Marvel, DC, anything really in that scope. We talk about it. We do a live stream every Wednesday, and we got a podcast that comes out every Monday.
Mm-hmm. We do watch parties for. We've been doing it because Bad Batch has been going on weekly. So we've been doing that too.
Yeah, right, some
live shows and stuff. Yeah,
we just nerd out, and we're very honored to be here on the Basic Nerd Experience live stream. Yeah, thanks again for having us.
Glad to have you here, of course.
And again, thanks again for having me on a week ago. That was actually a lot of fun.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
We'd
love to do more stuff in the future with you guys.
Of course, we would love to. I would love to have a podcast where we talk about Finding Nemo and Orson Welles in the same conversation.
Yeah, that was great.
It was a lot of fun, but we're not going to be talking about Finding Nemo or Orson Welles. No, we're going to be talking about the MCU, actually.
Yeah.
I figure it's time because we've never really discussed I was gonna say Captain WandaVision. No, it's we haven't talked about WandaVision or Captain Falcon we haven't talked about those shows at all. So I figured let's start with those and then maybe talk a little bit about Loki and then we'll just go from there. I think
that's good. Yeah, we've been deep into the Star Wars space in our channel, so it's gonna be refreshing.
We've been talking all Star Wars. Yeah.
So it's nice to kind of space out and talk about something else.
Oh, right, I get it. Nice pun.
Space out.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys. So let's start off with WandaVision. So WandaVision was the first thing we saw after Far From Home. It's been like a year and a half since.
I was just thinking. I'm sorry. I was just thinking about Far From Home. I don't consider it in Phase 3. I think it's stupid that was the end of Phase 3.
That's Phase 4. Yeah.
I mean Phase 4. I'm sorry.
No.
Wait. Am I wrong? Hold on.
No. You're right. Because
isn't Endgame and Far From Home in the same phase?
Yeah. Because remember the end? It was the whole thing was Sword and Nick Fury. That was supposed to transition.
No, I get that. I wish Far From Home was the beginning of
yeah.
I mean, it was in the title, Endgame.
Yeah.
They basically just wrapped it right there. Just end Phase 3 right there.
Yeah, in my head canon. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but
not a big deal.
That's how I put it in my head. Yeah, I'm like, I just think Endgame was a good thing, and then I think Far From Home, of course, set up, the next phase and what we've been seeing, in WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier and whatnot. But, and then obviously we'll see something Secret Invasion or whatever else. But I don't know. I just thought about that, so sorry to jump in like that.
No, go for it.
It's all good. It's all good.
No, absolutely. It's okay. Well,
but actually, Johnny brings up a good point. Now that I think about it, coming off of Far From Home, I don't think Far From Home is entirely a bad movie. Not at all. It's just
I don't think it's a bad movie at all. No.
Yeah, there's a few issues that I have with it. I remember there was this one scene that really just irked me a lot of it. Actually, they were all on the bus, right? And Peter just opens up Edith, even dead. I'm the hostage.
Yeah. The Edith thing was a little.
And then he starts messing around with it, and
Yeah.
I can't even chalk this up to like, oh, he's just being a 16-year-old. No 16-year-old is that dumb, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah. Especially him. He's like a genius.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Well, I mean, to defend him, it was new technology and everything. I don't even know if I was the biggest fan of just kind of having the Ida thing involved in the story at all, personally.
My bigger
but-
issue with that was where were those drones during Endgame? That would have been that
Yeah,
would have
that
helped
too.
out a lot.
thank you. That would have been
Yeah.
a great help, you know?
Yeah,
For
definitely.
sure. Edith would have came in handy. But,
Coming in with Captain Marvel and the drones coming in. I think it would have made her look
yeah,
cool.
that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been cool. Yeah. No, she needed her own entrance though, but yeah. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. Far From Home, I like Homecoming. I like way more, of course. I think
Yeah.
Homecoming was more my type of movie. Yeah, I think I like the concept of Far From Home, but you know, I mean, like Mysterio was obviously like very different in the in the comics, and this obviously the movie interpretation was very different. I mean, which I was fine with. It didn't like I think it fit with what they were doing, but at the same time, I'm not in love with like the the Iron Man connection. I just don't like not a person who sees. I don't really see the need for it. I mean, I was fine with them like talking about him, like mentioning him and like Peter's grief, I guess, a little bit with it, but I think just further like I just feel like they're kind of stretching it as much as possible. It's not work. I hope they. I don't think they will do this, but I hope that nothing like that happens in No Way Home. But
Oh yeah.
No Way Home's a whole different.
They're gonna they're gonna have so much stuff going on with that.
So much going on. I mean, apparently, a lot of it is
Apparently the Green Goblin's going to be the main villain.
the main villain. So
And then Doc Ock, it's gonna be a whole
which
conundrum.
I wish they would have set him up a little slower than just throwing him in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, if it is Norman from the Raimi films, Willem Dafoe, which would be great, but I mean, like, I think part of what makes like I think Norman Osborn is a cooler villain than Green Goblin in a way, just because of his close ties to Peter and everything, and like how much of a businessman he is, and
I agree with that.
He works in the shadows. The way he works in the shadows, I think, is really interesting. And there was this theory back in Ant-Man the Wasp. So there was this, I forget the exact kind of terminology they use in the movie, but there was like this buyer for what's that? What the guy in the suit? He kind of like he's kind of balding a little bit. It was like that guy. He was trying to, I think he was trying to get like Pym particles or something after. From Scott or whatever. No, the second one. Second movie. Basically they mentioned this buyer and something like that, and I wish they set that up with like that could have been Norman.
That guy with the briefcase.
Yeah, I wish that was Norman. Like in the shadows, obviously, like I guess they didn't explicitly mention who the buyer was in that movie, but I feel like that could have been a cool thing to bring down the line, and that was a theory that I've heard.
It would have been a cool like end credit scene where you who was
something like that. Even if it was just an Oscorp logo or just like something like on a piece of paper as an Oscorp thing. I don't know. I just think, I mean, like I am confused with what I don't even think Oscorp is really a thing in the MCU. It's kind of confusing.
But the Daily Bugle is.
The Daily Bugle is. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was awesome. That end credit scene was really cool, and because all right, so in Homecoming, what they did was just kind of have that scene. The end credit scene was Peter putting on the suit, and then Aunt May finding out, which is a huge moment in the comics, and is like a huge moment, like very emotional. Like it's such a huge impact on Peter and kind of the whole Spider-Man mythos, and I feel like it was just kind of blown off and Far From Home. So that was one thing that bothered me.
Yeah.
But however, I don't think I think they are going to stick to that storyline somewhat of having Peter being on the run, and obviously his identity is revealed. So I hope it seems like they are going to explore that a little more. And I think from the pictures and the set photos and the leaks and whatever, I think it seems like he might like hide out at the Sanctum Sanctorum or something like that through Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And
really
cool.
Speaking of which, now that we're talking about it, after Far From Home, I was like, I don't know if a lot of people felt this way, but I kind of felt a little bit, I don't know, burnt out by the MCU in a way because like at the same
I
time,
mean, the year break was, I guess, was kind of a good thing, but also, I mean, like I was dying for Marvel content during that year too. Last year. So at the same time, yeah, I get that. I get that point though, for sure.
And it's like if Far From Home would have been like this Titanic, like incredible Spider-Man movie, I think I would have had more hype for WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier because like when they came out, I didn't even care to look. I was one of those people that was totally underwhelmed by Phase 4. I was like,
You're underwhelmed by Phase 4? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like at first I was just like, okay, it's just a bunch of shows.
Endgame didn't do it for you?
Wait, is Endgame in Phase 4?
Yeah, right? Is it Phase 3 or it's Phase 3?
It's Phase 4. Phase 4 is WandaVision and onward.
Right.
I'm gonna double check.
Phase 3. I'm gonna double check. I think you're right. Phase 3. I'm sorry. I get the phases mixed up. But yeah. So Phase 3 ended with Far From Home.
Exactly.
So that's what I was saying earlier. So yeah. But you were saying.
And then Phase 4, like you get announcements like WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, Hawkeye.
Oh, I see. You were disappointed by like what they were announcing. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
And like
that's understandable. Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. Like I'm not one of those people who's like, nah, everything is gonna suck, man. Like, nah. Like, but I'm hoping that the Doctor Strange sequel and Shang-Chi,
that's gonna be amazing. Sam Raimi's directing the second Doctor Strange, and he did the Tobey Maguire trilogy, and
which means Bruce Campbell.
Yeah. I think I think Bruce Campbell he posted a picture of his part in the script. I don't know if it was fake, but it was from him. It could have been a joke, but it was like a page from the script. So he's definitely in it. But
it would have been really cool. It would have been really cool because I know that they were teasing Bruce Campbell to be Mysterio in Spider-Man 4.
Yeah.
It would have been nice if they did that. If they didn't do nothing against Jake Gyllenhaal. I think he did a really good job.
I'm pretty sure he was set to be Mysterio. If Spider-Man 4 happened. So
it was supposed because they were teasing. I remember Spider-Man 4 was supposed to be John Malkovich as
the Vulture. I think was that a fan cast or was that official?
No, I remember there was
was it? Okay, I wasn't sure. Okay,
I could double check.
I've seen the fan art, so I know what you're talking about. But I wasn't sure if it was.
And I don't know. I know we're going a little off track, but
yeah, sorry. I could talk about Spider-Man forever.
Oh no, I was actually gonna go more into Spider-Man. Like,
oh, okay, awesome.
One of the things like I was worried about Spider-Man. Like, I was a huge Sam Raimi. I love Spider-Man, all three of them, and I wasn't a fan of.
I'm just kidding.
Villains in one movie. I was just like, let's just focus on one. Like, I wasn't gonna be a fan.
Sam Raimi wasn't a fan of how many villains were in Spider-Man 3 either. So
he wasn't either. Sony was pushing for Venom. He's like, all right, like. I think what they had for Spider-Man, like, I don't think we're like me and Andres agree. Like, I don't know how you guys feel about Spider-Man 3, but we don't think it's the worst Spider-Man movie.
I don't either.
We don't think. Well,
no,
we don't. No. It's because
I don't either.
Yours is Far From Home, right?
Yep. And even then, I don't think it's a terrible movie.
Yeah. All right. Well, that says a lot then.
There was an old TV serial, so I'll say that's the worst one. But
from the 19th,
we're counting Andrew Garfield, right? I think Spider-Man 2, Andrew Garfield is probably the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is probably my least favorite.
The amount of wars that Elliot and I have had over Amazing
Are you a fan of it?
Yeah, Elliot and me are two completely.
I respect that. The suit's amazing. I'll give you that. The suit is perfect.
Our boy Jose described it as like a basketball looking like clown, and I'm just like, hey.
No, I was saying in the second one. The suit is amazing in the second.
Oh, that suit looks sweet.
That's like that is good stuff. So
yeah.
But I will give you this. I will give you this about Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man had the chance to learn from their mistakes in Spider-Man 3. Like, okay, Spider-Man 3 had too many villains. Here comes like 6 years later, another Spider-Man film with too many villains in it.
Electro, Rhino,
Green
Goblin.
Rhino barely counts. He's barely in the
what's it? Rhino's kind of like New Goblin, kind of like New Goblin, like with James Franco. Yeah, that's how. At
least James Franco Goblin got a fight scene with my boy.
Yeah. No, there is though.
Yeah. What?
You said there wasn't a fight scene with Rhino.
Yeah, but
And
like
there is, and there isn't. I mean,
There's
like with
two.
him in the suit at least
Right.
yeah.
at the end of the movie, but that's that's not really even a fight scene. They
Yeah.
didn't even like
That was
clash.
just that
The
was just
last
a
shot
trailer
was him
shot
swinging
for
the sewer
the
cap or
the
whatever.
cap. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought Electro, like, I'm beating a dead horse. It's been talked about for years now. But Electro,
yes.
weird, wacky, not, I don't know, just weird how they decided to handle Electro.
Seems like Jamie Foxx is gonna be Electro again.
I remember
so
those
we'll see how it
rumors,
goes.
Yeah.
but
And I'm fine with them. I just think
I'm looking forward to it. I think
the writing was terrible. That is not
Yeah.
Max Dillon. I mean, I know that well, one of the things that Andres and I
most
talked
movie interpretations like aren't that close to the comics. I mean, I'm trying to think like what would I guess like Norman in the Raimi movies, I guess, was pretty close. Probably one of the closest I can think of. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Even if it's not point for point accurate to the comics,
Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be amazing. I mean, look at Amazing Spider-Man 2. Look at Spider-Man 2 and The Amazing Spider-Man. Those are the two
Doc Ock, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
what a great movie.
Yeah.
Actually, sorry, I'm just complete tangent. I'm so sorry. I gotta mention this. So I was on a road trip, so I was in New York.
Right.
You know that Joe's Pizza location, so that's where the pizza scene was in the beginning of Spider-Man 2.
Was that the scene where the guy goes goal?
Yeah. So that
that
pizza shop was real, but they closed that and moved to a different location. So I wanted to go when I was there, but they moved locations.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just thought
so they literally go. So they went.
they went. Yeah.
Do they have a picture of Tobey Maguire going pizza time on the side of
Pizza time.
I think yeah, they had this. They like the sign in it. I mean, I don't know if they have it in the one that they moved to now, but it was Joe's Pizza from Spider-Man 2.
Oh, that's cool.
They marketed that. Yeah, it was cool.
Pizza
but anyways,
time.
yeah, it's pizza time.
I
think that is their tagline or slogan or whatever.
Pizza
I
time.
could be wrong.
Goal is there tagline?
No, it's pizza time. No.
Dude, just to add another weird tangent, I think it's like the Spider-Man PS2 game, like the pizza delivery mission.
Oh yeah,
that won the
music.
theme. But my favorite thing to watch on YouTube is like speed runs of that, because it's so ridiculous how people like exploit the game and stuff just to get like the fastest time.
Did you guys play the Spider-Man PS4 game?
Oh yeah.
Bro, both Miles Morales and the PS4 game.
So good.
God.
That is probably my favorite like non-comic interpretation of Spider-Man, I would say.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
love it. I love it. Yeah, I think.
Are you talking for Miles or Peter?
Both. That whole that
whole
Spider-Man
verse, yeah.
Iteration. Yeah, it's
Miles was.
Love
I haven't
it.
played Miles Morales. Is Miles? Like,
Miles is great. It's like obviously it's shorter than the first game, which I mean makes sense. But I mean, like you still get the
DLC,
you
right?
still get the whole.
Yeah.
For Miles, no.
Oh,
There was.
I thought it was
original one.
originally going to be DLC, and then they were like, "All right, let's just make
No,
the whole game."
some people theorize because they didn't. They
Oh,
just showed a
okay.
trailer and they didn't announce if it was a game or if it was DLC.
Right.
But one thing's for sure with
That
this
being a
game,
game.
though, I was so happy to beat the shit out of Silver Sable because she was she was so.
Did you play that DLC stuff? That mission?
Yeah,
The
she got
story.
under-
Yeah.
she
The
got under
DLC on that game was solid too. It was so good.
Really?
Hammerhead. Silver Sable was there. Oh, Black Cat. There was another Black Cat one.
Black Cat. Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
And-
Those.
And
stuff.
like the spoiler alert, by the way, the tragedy of Yuri Watanabe and
Yeah. Oh, dude, Yuri was such.
Didn't she? Spoilers. Didn't she change to like kill or something like that? Like I didn't finish it, but like what happened with Yuri?
Oh my God, there's this like for a Spider-Man game, this mission felt a little bit freaky because you have to go around town, get all these messages from these recorded like tape sessions with this inside guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
The inside guy dies, and apparently he was very close to Yuri. So Yuri goes down and tracks the guy that kills him, and not only does she kill him, but like she ties him to a post, wraps him in, I think it's police tape, like it has all the tapes from the past like mission or so.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then
so she doesn't die. It's she kills somebody else.
Yeah, and the way it ends,
which is like because she's a police officer, so it's like kind of goes against her whole kind of thing. And she was in yeah, she was a pretty pivotal role in the actual main story as well. So it's interesting. She's a really good character. She's actually played by Yuri Lowenthal's wife, who's the voice of Peter.
Are you kidding me? That's
really
that's adorable right there. That makes
I'm right about yeah.
That makes the whole Spider Cop interactions with her so
much.
Wow.
No, they have natural chemistry. So yeah, super
with
cool.
Spider Cop and Yuri.
Spider Cop, yeah. Spider Cop, dude.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I just love everything about that universe. I want a prequel game. I want like a younger Peter game really badly. That'll be really, really cool. Cause like, the backpack missions where you get all the collectibles and they give you the backstory and stuff. That stuff was really cool. They can make a whole game out of it, but I hope they do. But looking forward to Spider-Man 2 though. It's gonna be cool.
That PS4 Spider-Man game is easily the best Spider-Man game of all time.
Oh yeah.
Easily.
No doubt.
Never played it, but I've heard it's spectacular.
I will.
You gotta do it.
Have you come over and like
I've messed around with it like at people's and just swinging alone is just a great time.
The swing is so good. Yeah, it's so. I would argue Miles is even better with swinging. There's a lot more to do with him.
Can I play it? I know
he does.
I don't have a PS5 yet. Because I don't have the.
You can play Miles on PS4. That's what I don't have a PS5 either.
Is it? I was worried it was gonna be like
no.
It was.
It looks better than the original game, I think.
Really?
So, yeah. Wow. It's not. I'm not gonna get a PS5. Too much money. But I would totally recommend just buying it on PS4. It's really good. Awesome game.
Man. It's an amazing game, man. Like for those
but it is shorter. It is short. I will say that it is shorter, but
like a lot shorter, or just like
a lot shorter. But really? there's almost no fat with the story. Like oh my god, it's so good.
I think the pacing is good. I mean, it is a little quick in some parts, but it's not too bad. There weren't any like glaring like, oh, that's weird kind of thing. But yeah, no, Miles is so good. The stuff with Miles is like has such a good story in it. I don't know. I think it's really good. Yeah.
And can you change the costumes?
A lot of cool costumes. Andreas, what do you have your Miles in which costume?
Oh god.
I have him in the Spider Cat one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, with the one with the backpack.
I got you. That's an excellent.
That's probably my favorite one. I think that, and obviously like the Into the Spider-Verse one.
That's the one that I have applied right now.
Okay,
I freaking love that movie. Man. Seriously, 10 out of 10.
Amazing. Cannot wait for the second one. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
so,
it's insane.
I hate to. I actually wanted to ask. Do we actually have shout out to Shannon in the comments? She wanted to ask everyone, who's your favorite Spider-Man? Toby, Tom, or Andrew?
Shannon O'Rourke.
Toby, baby. I'll take Toby.
Toby Kenobi.
Toby Kenobi. Toby one Kenobi.
I like certain aspects of Tom better than Toby, but
same, yeah. But
I think Toby
I gotta go
would
Toby.
probably win because I mean, like,
nostalgia is literally the only thing.
It sounds like I'm complaining, but like, one big thing over like Spider-Man, you can't have Spider-Man without Uncle Ben, and for the MCU movies to kind of not dismiss it. Well, yeah, they are kind of.
I was always fine with them not showing it. But
I don't need no origin
it.
story. I don't need an origin story.
They mentioned him once, I think, and they don't even use a name. They're just like everything that's going on with May.
Well,
and
there's
then May's
that scene
like
in Civil War that like teases at it.
Yeah,
it's not like.
But then May is like flirting with like Tony Stark, and it's like, bro, this like just happened.
Right. Yeah. Like 6 months before. I think it was 6 months. Before Civil War.
Right.
So, like, I mean, well, in Homecoming, that scene in Homecoming. So, I don't know. I mean, like, I try to look past it, and also there's just like other things with that iteration too that I'm just like, I'm the biggest fan of. I like, obviously I'm a high school Peter, but I mean, like, not to go on this tangent, but like, the original Amazing Spider-Man run, I think there's only about 20 or 25 issues where he's in high school. All of the rest of them are of him in college.
Yes.
All the rest. Oh, I just knocked that. All the rest are in college. So, I mean, like, I hope so I think in the MCU, Peter is a junior.
Yeah,
I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Is he
think he'll
16?
be a senior. Will he be a senior
No Way Home.
in this?
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
It's projected, yes.
Because
Yeah.
Or whatever
he was a sophomore in Homecoming, right?
And Homecoming. So
Yeah. So he must have been a junior. He was probably a junior in the next one.
he must have been a junior
Well,
in
wait. Oh, well,
Endgame
actually,
and whatever. Or
I'm trying to think because after the snap, I guess he
right.
would've-
And Infinity
a-
War, I believe he was a junior. Obviously, that goes into Far
Oh,
From
okay.
Home.
Right,
Yeah,
I see.
when Ned comes up with the best distraction, we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's so
then like Peter's like, I'll take it, and then he just
Yeah.
But
so
yeah. So I hope he continues after No Way Home. I mean, it seemed like they're going to, but it's confusing with the whole Sony thing because there's rumors that they're taking him back, and
if
it's
multiverse
confusing.
To tie back to like the Ben thing, like if multiverse is real, like it would be such an emotional and like impactful moment if he like saw Ben in like a different multiverse or something.
Yeah, I
he's
mean,
like,
there is this like
burying
theory
this.
that like I don't know how I feel about it 100%, but I mean, obviously there's this whole thing with Toby coming back, and people are like, what if Toby was the Uncle Ben of the MCU universe? So when he sees
that'd be crazy.
Toby, it's like, whoa, you're Uncle Ben, and like
that's true. Yeah.
I think it could work, but yeah.
I mean, maybe there's a reason they haven't even showed us like a picture on a fridge or something, like of an Uncle Ben.
Yeah,
like...
they can. There was a rumor that there's a trailer coming out this week, but it's Wednesday, so I don't.
It was supposed to be yesterday, right? Or today.
If they can,
So it was sometime this week, but yeah, I'm not
because
sure.
Tom Holland's birthday is today, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is it okay?
Yeah. So
if they can bypass that thing that like, if they go through with that plan of my boy Toby going down as Uncle Ben, if they can somehow surpass that, they're doing it for nostalgia phase and actually make it weave into the story in a way natural, that would be amazing. Spectacular even. Yeah.
I totally agree. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't even know if like that's necessarily like, I mean, it's definitely a cool theory for sure, but it's
not likely
if they do it right. Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, like, yes and no, but yeah, I mean, like Andrew Garfield was like, no, I'm not in it, but like, there's so much, and I know he's like, no, I'm not in. Like, he was serious, but like, I hate to be it, but there be like that, but there's just like, there's so much evidence, and like, so the set crew got like these like at the end of, usually when a film wraps, the crew gets like a gift package or whatever, especially with like Marvel and Star Wars, like the big companies.
Yeah.
So a part of that gift was a shirt, a No Way Home shirt that had Andrew's suit on it. So it's like, I don't know if you guys have seen that leak or that picture, but like, it's like, I don't know. He's a good actor too. So, he could be faking that. And that was just in a normal interview. So I don't know. And same with Emma Stone. I don't think Emma Stone will be in it. Because she was Gwen Stacy in the Amazing Spider-Man films, but
that's true, man.
Plus, weren't they a couple, and wouldn't that be awkward? Since
I mean,
you never know. I wasn't. Yeah.
Maybe my boy Andrew can go on a different wormhole. Ask Doctor Strange, hey, can I get a different Gwen?
Something like that. I'll take
just like a vending machine, just like
Can I get the Bryce Dallas Howard version of
from the
Grammy films? Yeah,
she was uninteresting, but she was hot. Let's take it.
Yeah, Gwen was not Gwen. That's one of the things I didn't like about Spider-Man 3 it was just like, let's just add Gwen at the last minute. Like that's
just throw it in there.
I think I don't know if Sam wanted to do that or if Sony wanted to do that. My hunch is Sony wanted to do it, so not sure, but
like I recently watched all the 3 Spider-Man movies again. They're a lot of fun. I mean, it's obviously Spider-Man 2 is the best, obviously, of all the 3. But I watched it kind of like let me take off the nostalgia glasses. Let me just watch it as a movie.
Yeah.
I
try to do that too.
It's I don't people like hate the third one. And I'm like, I don't think it's really
I don't think it deserves as much hate as
fun.
it
It's a fun
gets.
movie, like at its
Oh.
core. Like if you don't like
never
it for like
makes
the
me
weird acting at
cringe.
times, the writing and like the cram villains, like at least it's a fun movie.
Yeah, it doesn't make me cringe. I mean, like the Peter, like the emo Peter is like, okay, like it's obviously yeah, there it is.
Yeah, exactly. And I love how they poked fun at that in
It's obviously
Spider-Verse.
a
Yeah.
joke. It's not well.
Oh, you can't see it, but
Yeah, I don't know. I that should be, you should laugh at that. It's one of those things. So I mean, obviously he thinks he's taking himself. So the whole thing with that is like that's Pete in Peter's mind. That's what he thinks cool people look like.
right.
So that's
Yeah.
what he tries
Yeah.
to do. So it's just funny. And people are
Right.
like, no, wait, this is stupid. Like this was a serious thing. It's
Yeah.
I remember I have a funny moment when I saw that movie. I was like 7. I first saw Spider-Man 3, and I saw it with my dad. And we first saw the scene. And I go, "What is he doing?" I go, "He's being a douchebag." That's
yeah,
7
Yeah,
years old.
that's right. That's
and
right.
I go, "What's a douchebag?" He goes, "That." And then,
I mean, he's not wrong.
He was
He's not
being
wrong.
very-
Yeah.
But, yeah, emo Peter was. It was just so unnecessary. Like I liked. It was kind of good because I liked it in a way. It was. I didn't like the execution, but I like the idea about how it got him more confidence to face Eddie Brock, but it was
Right.
obviously in a very speed up Kenny G jazz in the background.
Yeah.
Like
And he like makes his hair like
he's
Yeah,
like, I'll
yeah.
get you triple.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Peter's idealized version of a cool person.
yeah.
So
And
that
it's
was
like-
that
Yes, sir.
whole point.
I don't know if that comes across great like to viewers. Clearly
Well-
it didn't because people didn't like it, but
I don't know.
I,
That's how it's-
well,
That's how it's intended. So
Well,
yeah.
one of the funny things like I love is that I love how he thinks he's like the shit and like he like,
yeah,
and then, like,
that's what he thinks.
Everyone looks at every girl looks at him like, what the hell?
Yeah,
are you
he thinks
doing?"
that's how he gets the chicks.
Well, except when he breaks into MJ's concert or whatever.
yeah.
And he's just
Oh,
like
yeah.
That was
Yeah,
so
that was pretty smooth.
unnecessary.
yeah.
It
That
was
seemed like something out of freaking like Cats or something like that. I mean,
No, I have
For
not
real,
watched
yeah.
that movie, and I do not plan on watching that movie.
No.
you're
me
not
neither.
missing.
if you're
not missing
drunk,
much.
it's awesome.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you're
No,
drunk,
dude.
it's like who the fuck is this? Like it's
Yeah.
But it's one of those like if you get drunk with your boys, that's a movie to watch. Same with Cat in the Hat, but like
Yeah,
not like-
yeah.
not like
Cat in the
something-
Hat. That movie.
Yeah, Cat in the
that
Hat's
movie slaps.
crazy. Cat in the
That
Hat
movie
is rough.
slaps.
True.
All right, listen, boys. I think I do have to hop out, but this
Yeah.
was a wonderful stream. Thank you guys for having me on. We'll definitely have to do this again.
Yeah.
But it was great talking Spider-Man. Thank you guys. And all right, we'll talk soon.
Yeah.
Thank you
Awesome.
everybody who was watching.
Thank you for
too.
joining us.
Yeah, of course. See you boys.
See ya.
Take
Yeah,
care.
yeah. All right.
All
Yeah,
right.
I can stay for a little longer. Yeah,
Awesome.
I didn't realize we had to cut it this short, you know. I'm sorry about that, but
No, it's okay.
definitely
not me,
we'll
not
definitely
just-
streaming stuff in the
Af-
future.
After you guys, after Dylan, whenever you go, like Andres and I can keep going. Like we don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, Andres, you look kind of your picture's frozen. You look very stoned. Like I gotta take a quick picture before it goes away.
Do I look like I'm
Right.
on acid?
A little bit.
I took like
Yo, dog, listen to my album "Boys Who Cry." Yo, coming out. Man. You know what?
I
it
need
is?
4-ply when I
when
cry.
I cry.
when I
Good
wave
stuff.
my tissue.
I,
I forgot the lyrics. Anyway, but this is
Something like that, yeah.
yeah. But let's get back to MCU. So, wow. So we ended up talking a lot about Spider-Man, which I'm fine with. But let's get into WandaVision. I thought it was whatever, to be quite honest.
It had me at the beginning. I was really into it. At first I was kind of like, okay, well, when are we gonna get into it? Because this is just a sitcom.
I'm back.
And like I'm not really into the whole sitcom thing, but toward the middle I was like, okay, I get what they were doing. And then I feel like toward the end it felt a little rushed, and it probably was because of COVID, but it just felt like there was a bunch of different ideas being pulled at. I didn't think they went into certain things that I wish they did more, like Wanda like being pretty messed up, like she is not she did a really messed up thing, and it doesn't feel like she felt the weight for that.
I agree. Like I expected WandaVision to go in a completely subversive direction, like having Wanda be the main villain. Like after seeing this girl like that we grew up with since like Avengers: Age of Ultron, she lost her brother, fighting with the Avengers, and now losing Vision. There's good motivation for her to turn to the, pardon the French, turn to the dark side, man. That's it's tempting, and I thought that was what they were going for, and of all people, Vision would have to be the one to stop her.
Yeah, which is like kind of what happened, but not enough in my opinion. It didn't. I don't know, and I know we're gonna see more of it probably with Doctor Strange or whatever else she's in. They'll probably play into it a little more, but it's just, I don't know. I didn't feel like just some glares at her in Westview was enough like redemption, or was enough like repercussion.
I absolutely agree. I also wasn't a fan of what's his name? Quicksilver was
oh my,
don't have them ever. Just don't ever do it.
Just don't. Ralph Bohner, dumb, stupid. It was I don't understand why they thought that was a good idea. Everyone was upset about it. I don't think there's a single person, unless they turn it around and they're like, okay, yeah, that actually is Quicksilver, and that's the plan they have all along. But stupid. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it would be like a Star Wars moment where it's like, Rey, you came from nothing, you are nothing. Next film, oh, you were nothing because they treat you like you were nothing. You're actually granddaughter of Palpatine. It's like,
yeah.
Can't think of it as you go a lot. Maybe for Marvel, I'll take it, but like Star Wars is a big difference.
Yeah. It kind of felt like, and not new. I mean, it didn't have as nearly as much impact because I'm so much more of a Star Wars guy than Marvel guy. Yeah. But it kind of felt like Luke throwing the lightsaber in a way.
Yeah.
Like where it's just like you just see the name Ralph Bohner or whatever. Yeah, Ralph Bohner. And you're like, okay. That doesn't feel right.
That's a stupid awesome name.
Ralph
Ralph Bohner. That sounds like a porno. An actor.
It does. It really does.
Speaking of boners, Captain America and the Winter Soldier, anybody?
That was the smoothest transition of all time.
I know.
Those Wakandan Guardians, man. What more can I say?
Oh, no, it was Baron Zemo for me, bro.
Helmet
Zemo. Oh, with the purple mask. Yeah. Falcon and the Winter.
Do you want to do? Sorry to cut you off. Do you want to do like before you go? Do you want maybe like after we discuss? What do you want to like do like a ranking at the end, like blank out of 10 for WandaVision and
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
Cool.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier I liked more than WandaVision. I think it just, I don't know, it just hit better story beats for me, and it just kind of, it just worked better for me than WandaVision did. I felt like it closed really well and it had some kinks along the way, like Sharon Carter wasn't into her being the power broker. If she is, I mean, I know there's still some speculation, but like if she is the power broker, that just don't feel right. And what was there? The Flag Smashers, I thought they were a little underutilized in the end there. It felt rushed. It felt rushed, but I still did like it.
In the end, they're plight. Like I likened it like this, like during the snap when it happened, right? Like the Flag Smashers were part of a community where they were given stuff that, from the community that allowed them to survive during those 5 years. And then when the blip was undone, like, okay, the resources need to go back to the people that were blipped back into existence. Okay, that makes sense. But then, these guys are talking about one world, one people, all uniting under, hey, this is an injustice that was done to us. We got to do something about it. And although I don't necessarily disagree with the notion that hey, you shouldn't go out and actively kill those who are different than you. Yeah, I agree with that. But like, to me, it was a generic message, and I cared more about the interactions between John Walker, Black Star, Captain.
Right.
Yeah. I cared more about those guys. And to me, I think John Walker has one of the best redemption arcs that I've seen in the MCU. It's not
Right.
often,
And it might not even be a full redemption arc, like it's still some gray there. Yeah.
Yeah. And that fight scene right after, spoiler alert, John Walker kills a flag smasher, and then Bucky and Sam have to go up against this guy. You see that the shield is tainted in blood. I like that. I like awesome. That they don't take it away from. They don't want to make you forget that. Hey, man, this guy killed, bro. Like
yeah. And he is tarnishing the shield. He's tarnishing what the shield stands for.
He's
I thought with the Flag Smashers, for the message they wanted to get across, I think they started off really strong as sort of like I don't want to say sympathetic, but you can see where they're coming from and why they get as extreme as they do, because it's like this is a very grounded show, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and it was realistic. It's like they have been dealt an unfair hand from the world, and they started as a peaceful cause, and then as the world keeps bullying them down, they become the bullies,
Yeah.
And so it was cool to see. It's just as like the last two episodes, I just thought I can't really put my finger on why they just felt kind of sidelined a little bit.
Yeah, for some strange reason, I just didn't buy into their problem as much as the showmakers wanted me to. Like, I found Helmut Zemo's purpose in the story more interesting, and he's only around for like 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah,
Zemo stole the show. Yeah, he was great.
I just felt like it's also a coincidence that I don't know her name, but the leader of the Flag Smashers was also the
Carly.
iCarly. What?
No,
Carly Morgan.
I think her name is Carly.
Carly.
Her name is Carly.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, hi, Carly.
Hi, Sam. Go ahead.
No, she's not in
5, 4. So no, but like she also was in Solo, where she played those
and she very similar character.
Yeah, it was just very similar, and just band of like it was just kind of I mean,
I know.
Again, it's not her fault. It was just the writing for both I was not a fan of.
Yeah, man, the material that I'm pretty sure she's capable. I mean, she's good at doing the dramatic faces, but I don't know, with the material that she's been given, like, it seems robotic. And, weirdly enough, I started asking myself after I finished watching it again that, okay, Steve Rogers was injected with basically this super steroid, right? And he went from a small little toothpick to like man titties, really manly, all good. But then, you see these super soldier guys who are the Flag Smashers, and Carly, of all people, who looks like a shrimp, is able to, kick John Walker's ass, kick Black Star's ass, kick everybody's ass. And I'm just like, I mean,
yeah, I guess they kind of explained that by Nagel, I think, was the doctor. And he it's very vague, but he kind of goes on a little tangent where he's like, I've perfected it. So like, you don't go, your body isn't altered, or your body's altered, but the physical appearance isn't altered, which, I mean, if you want to buy that, it's up to you. But yeah, I see where you're coming from though.
And
but just everything with John, I thought was awesome. And like, even it sparked some debate, because there are people that are like, yeah, I agree. I see where his character is coming from, and I think his redemption was done well. And then there's the other hand, but I think it was kind of designed to be written like that, where he still is a divisive character for a reason. Like they're trying to tell a story here, and they're trying to give a message with the character. I thought he was done really well.
I agree. That is kind of a weird statement, but oddly enough, I do agree with it. Like, John Walker isn't really a character that you come across, especially in an MCU movie. Like, he's proven himself to earn the shield. He's got the high marks. He was in the military, of course. All that stuff. Great.
It was more like political. It was more like a political, not political, but it's more of like, because of what he accomplished, he got the position.
Right. Like what society says, or what I guess in this case, what the American society says is righteous and what deserves the shield. Yeah, he was everything he checked each box, but in reality, what people actually face day to day, he wasn't right for the shield.
Yeah, like you look at someone like Isaiah Bradley, who was tested, untested, and tested again. Dropped in Nam with freaking Bucky, even insinuating that he could kick Bucky's ass back in the day. That is some bold shit to say, man. But like, you look at that character arc of Isaiah Bradley, and subtle tie-ins to American history and all that stuff, saying like it's not about Isaiah. It's about how it ties back into Sam and why he feels it's like he's not ready to take on the mantle. Is the world ready to see this kind of Captain America? And is he even worthy? Even though Steve Rogers said, "It's yours now.
This is yours." Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought. Oh, you were keep going.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna add to that point. Like, what I thought was so genius about Isaiah was when I was watching it, I was like, until like when Isaiah was first telling his story and stuff, I was like, dang, that really does suck. Like, I see why Sam wouldn't take the shield, like this really it's a pessimistic view, but it's a realistic view. But then Sam, he maybe is an idealist, but he takes Isaiah's story and he pushes it further, and he uses Isaiah's story to try to make the world a better place, like he's kind of the optimistic outlook that the world can be better. We just have to fight for it.
Exactly. He even bums out, states it to Bucky. So you mean to tell me that there was a black Captain America decades ago that nobody knew about? Are you kidding me? Like, you can see Sam getting frustrated with this. Had he known this earlier, he would have done whatever he could to find out more about this guy. It would have made it easier for him to actually accept the shield. But even then, he doesn't feel ready.
Right. And Isaiah has every right to not want to fight for it. He's like, screw that. They dealt me a bad hand. I'm not fighting for them, and I'm not fighting to make things better. But yeah, I just really like how Sam takes that, and it's a really good message that he takes that and he keeps pushing forward despite all the things he's heard.
I also like how they really did a good job of dealing with race in the show. It wasn't wasn't forced. It wasn't like shoved down my throat. It was done well, and it was done subtly. If that makes sense.
You hear that, Last Jedi? That's how you do it.
Yeah, I think Last Jedi was fine with diversity. I think it was okay.
Sorry, it's just I rewatched it again, and
you gotta stop watching it. You're getting addicted. Like
that was me. Like there's things like that I just like do not like. And Last Jedi originally, I mean, I still don't love it, but I really hated it at first, and I just kept watching it, and I was like, I still don't like this. I gotta stop watching it.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the right. But going back to what Elliot said, like the way it handled race, it was delicate. Every single person had a good motivation for why they wanted to do what they chose to do. Isaiah, Sam, even Bucky.
Yeah. There was two scenes that I really enjoyed. Was that really was something we never seen before. Was obviously they really talked about race more. Was it specifically was the encounter with after they see Isaiah with the cops, and they were like, "Hey, is this man bothering you?" And he's like, "You know who this is?" Like this is an Avenger. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I liked how it was kind of he's like, "Is this like when the cop like just said, hey, like what's your problem? Like I need your ID." He's like, "You didn't see my ID? Like what?" And then like it was like, "Is this man?" And then he goes to Sam or Bucky because he's white, and the right cops. It was just kind of like, "Is this man bothering you?" He's like,
"Yeah."
No. And then I liked how he defended it. He's like, "You know what the fuck this is?" Like, your ass, like the blip, like,
right.
And then I liked that moment. I liked how when Sam, by like gorgeous, amazingly great costume for when he's Captain America or Captain Falcon. But with that design, but I liked how he was kind of like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm scared because I'm a black superhero and I'm Captain America and I'm scared of what you're gonna. I'm gonna be the best that I can be.
Exactly.
But you should not judge me based on my color. You should be based on what I do with this. Look at John Walker. He was supposed to be Captain America, but he did it wrong. I knew him. I knew Steve Rogers. I know because they mentioned Steve a lot. So I thought it was a very I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch it again this week. But I gotta watch it again because that moment was definitely in my opinion, the best scene was the end scene with the news plastered all over about that. I thought that was my favorite scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
I know people were kind of pushed away because of the message of a race, but I just think it was really genius. One, because I just think that Marvel especially is so accessible to so many different people, and especially kids who are going to watch that and be like, oh, this is an issue, like in America. And also to give them the optimism or the optimistic outlook that it's like, and you can fight for it and you can make the world a better place. But also it just makes Sam's Captain America that much better because we have his story. We've seen his fight. We've seen his struggle. And I'm really interested to see like what's next for his in the next chapter. He's accepted himself as Captain America, and now it's time to move on. We got to see what happens next.
Absolutely. And I love how like this show, it's not asking the question, oh, can there be a black superhero? Like that's not the issue at all. The issue is a black Captain America. We all know Captain America as Steve Rogers. It's like the whole thing with like let's do it in like an alternate universe or something like that. Let's use the Clark Kent example of making Clark Kent black. Like that the difference between that and what's happening here in Captain America and the Winter Soldier is that there's this whole arc that Sam has to go through in order to prove not only to the world, but to himself that he deserves the mantle. That's exactly what happens. That's why we come to accept him as Captain America. That's the thing. If you say, oh, Clark Kent is black, like how DC is doing it right now, I mean, there's no substance there. There's a whole bunch of substance in the other thing that's going on,
Yeah, take Spider-Verse. It did a great job of exploring diversity. Yeah. Every spider, because there's like one who's a robot. There's one that's
a spider being.
Yeah, the spider people. Yeah.
People. Yeah, Spider. I'm trying to
right.
Spider. Anyway, but the whole point is that it's not like, oh, there's Black Peter Parker. There's Peter Parker or whatever. There's like
right.
That. It's its own. Their own identity, their own thing.
Yeah.
They did a great job of, even though we didn't really explore more of Spider-Gwen or other, or Peter Parker already knew, which was great, but Miles Morales was great because he's half Hispanic and half black. So it was really cool to see that.
Yeah. And to have the original Peter Parker come in and teach this kid is icing on top of the cake, because we know, hey, this is the same Peter we know and love. He's still in there, my man, and he's killing it. He's teaching this kid the ways,
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree, and that's what I liked about it. And I'm glad it's because I'm sure it wasn't like Black Captain America. It's like, no, it's just Captain America. Like,
it's just Captain. Yeah,
Captain
and
America,
they even say that in the show. It's like, is that Black Falcon or is that Black Captain America? And it's like, no, it's just Captain America. Right yeah. It's just.
Yeah, no, that was good. That's why you liked it. I did like Bucky a lot in this. Like, this is my favorite thing of I've seen Bucky, and to be quite honest.
Yeah, I'm so excited for more Bucky in the future. I hope we get some White Wolf action.
White Wolf,
that's like his alias in Wakanda. So hopefully, I don't know if they'll go as far. I know in some comics he has a suit, a white wolf suit. I don't know if they'll go that far into it, but could be pretty cool to see what he does in Wakanda.
Well,
yeah.
No, I agree. But I mean, I have nothing else really to say. I mean, can you stay a little bit longer, Dylan, or do you have to go?
Yeah, I can stay for a bit more. Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe we can do like a ranking of
let's do
the shows, and maybe we can get into Loki. And maybe
yeah.
All right.
Sounds
so
good.
what are your who wants to go first for the rankings of the two shows?
Dylan, please go first.
All right, I'll take it. So I'm just giving a number to each show.
I'll give the show a 7 out of 10 or something like.
All right, so I'm gonna. So WandaVision, it lost me at the end there, like I said, but just because of how interesting it was and how like interesting it still is as its own thing, I'm gonna give it a 7.7, high 7. I'm gonna give it a high 7. I did enjoy the show. I didn't want to give it too low and I didn't want to give it too high. I feel like 7's a good spot.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give Falcon the Winter Soldier an 8.8. So yeah, I like Falcon the Winter Soldier a lot. I don't know if it's not. it's so different than the movies, but it's definitely not in like my top 5 MCU stuff. But I just think it says a lot for what it is, and it's a really solid show.
I dig that. That's good. Yeah. And you want me to go next?
Go for it.
Sure. Yeah, going off of what Dylan said, WandaVision did lose me at the end a little bit, mostly because in like Johnny says, in my own headspace, my own head canon, it could have been so much better. But that's not to take credit away from WandaVision. I mean, there's so many unique things about it. Like, it borrows from different styles of shows, like the old 1950s, or even to Modern Family.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool style. I haven't seen much of that before. But the worst parts is when they go back to the real world in the MCU, where they're dealing with, how the hell do we get them? How the hell do we free these guys? That was just it's just like that to me. So for taking a lot of steps forward and then some steps back, 6 out of 10. I dig the show. It's not bad. It's not terrible. It's not great, but it's good. I dig. Speaking of dig, Captain America and the Winter Soldier, I respect it. I respect it for what it is. It's definitely like the most unique. If I have to call this thing a movie, I think it would have to be the most unique of the MCU movies that I've seen. Nothing beats the Iron Man, though. That's the top.
Of course.
But yeah, for tackling a lot of different themes all at once, and while keeping the humor light. We forgot to talk about the humor here, man. It's golden, man.
It was good stuff. Yeah.
When they focus on Bucky and Sam, those moments are great, especially when they go through therapy together. That's yeah. Not only is it funny, but it reflects their perspective on the world and each other. Like, they don't have to say what they are. They just say what the other guy is. And I think that's really cool, and I think it wraps up nicely. A little bow tie, inspirational, real cool. But Chuck the Leaper wasn't really that much of an interesting character, but that's beside the point. I'll give this thing an 8 out of 10. Because this thing is awesome. Isaiah Bradley kills it, man, every single time. What a show. John Walker, one of the best characters.
I love it. Good rating.
Thank you. Speaking of Elliot, my man.
Yeah, speaking of Elliot, this is Elliot. WandaVision, I was kind of underwhelmed with it. I was like, okay, something, I wasn't looking into it. And I kind of lost interest halfway. And I stopped watching it, and then I looked at the spoilers, and I was like, okay, yeah. And then I watched it again, and I was like, okay. And I didn't like it. It was it's not bad. It's not a bad show. It's just, I just think the MCU sometimes is milking it. And I think this is one of those examples.
A lot to be desired, yeah.
I just didn't. I liked it a lot. I think what I'm seeing a lot from these shows so far is that they're taking a lot of creative risks, which I like, and I respect that. And sometimes you take it and it works. Sometimes it doesn't, and it's not like something that's like forced or like something that's like like bullshit. It's so that's at the last minute. It's something that they thought about it, and sometimes you have a great idea and doesn't get executed, just like emo Peter Parker. That was not executed greatly, but I like dancing. But no, I just felt that the acting is great. I think there's not really MCU. I can't really think of poor performances. I mean, there's a couple I can think of, but that's
Captain Marvel.
Yeah. I mean, we're not jumping on the bandwagon of that. We just it's okay.
My brother fell asleep.
Your brother fell asleep. Yeah. I actually, I gotta admit, I watched it again. Man, that's the cure to insomnia. I didn't know the hell was going on. Anyway, but we can get to that. I wouldn't mind talking about, or at least hear movies in different podcasts, but with WandaVision, I give it a 6 out of 10. I don't think it's terrible, but I think it's I think the acting is great. I think the visual effects is amazing.
Yeah.
I liked how like I grew up on the Dick Van Dyke Show on like the old 50s sitcom. So I saw this, I was like, oh, it's a nice callback. And because back then it was like, you left the water on. Oh no. We'll be right back to Kraft single.
Right. And then they
right. And then like they do those. I like that. It was, and I liked when they did like they had the ads for like Stark Industries. They did stuff for like Hydra. Like, I thought that was it was clever. Like it was a great idea. Whoever came up with that was it was a great idea. It was too long. I think WandaVision stretched it out too much. I thought we only really I personally didn't think we needed it. I personally think it would have been a nice act in a movie.
Yeah.
And then it transitioned to like something else. Like I thought it'd been a nice like what? Whoa, like whatever. But that was that. But 6 out of 10.
Kat Dennings is still my broke girl.
Sorry?
Kat Dennings is still my broke girl. I'm glad she's back.
The next one. Captain Falcon. I keep calling it that. Captain America. Captain America, the Winter Soldier. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Yeah. There was times where I was kind of bored and it just kind of lost me a lot. But except for the scenes with Sam and Bucky, those are obviously the best.
Everything with them was beautiful. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I just think because how many episodes is it? 6?
7.
Yep. 7. Oh, I thought it was 6.
I could be wrong. 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
Keep going. I'll do some investigating.
Jamie Porter.
Private investigation right here, man. Good.
I just think it could have been cut by like an episode or two.
I agree. There were some parts, like, especially with the Flag Smashers, that was boring as hell.
6 episodes.
6 episodes.
Yeah.
It should have been 5. Like I just think I didn't really care about the Flag Smashers. I was like, okay, like even if I watch, like, I didn't. I like Baron Zemo, like the idea of that. The Power Broker was kind of like I don't know. It just seems like it's. I just feel like it's whatever. I mean, not. I mean, obviously but John Walker was cool. That was definitely an interesting thing, and this definitely had a lot of great moments. But it had a lot of whatever moments to me. I'm gonna watch. I gotta watch it again. But I did like how there's the reality of like what's a come back from the blip, like especially with Sam and his sister trying to figure out like paying off. So I forget exactly what they're trying to pay off, but they go to the bank and trying to figure out purposes. And I liked how it's realistic because they sometimes like I kind of saw with COVID, like sometimes like insurance companies are I don't mean be dark or whatever, but it definitely is the kind of thing where it's like, oh yeah, we helped you out. Now you got to help us back again. It's like,
Like wow. Nice.
I like that a lot because it was like, you know, like even like that captain. Well, at the time he was the Falcon. I guess Sam was kind of like, yeah, I'm the captain. I'm the Falcon. Yeah, it was good. Can you sign this paper, bitch? Like let's
yeah.
Not even the Avengers can skip out on the insurance claims, man.
Yeah, it's exactly. But I give it 7 out of 10. I think it was good. I would like to. It just it was okay. It was fun, but it wasn't memorable. I mean, there's moments that are memorable, but the entire way through was just it's a lot of moments that are skippable in my opinion.
Right.
From there, I think the last thing we'll talk about. I just poked myself in the eye.
Be careful, man. That poker, man.
I don't want to cut it short. I do got to run.
Okay.
Just after this rankings, but I definitely want to do some more. You guys are awesome guys. Thanks for having me again. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, I mean, Levi might still pop in, but I don't know what he's doing. But yeah, I think we've been running a little over an hour now. So yeah, I do gotta head out. But thanks again for having me so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
and
we would love to have you back.
For sure. Yeah, well, you're in our Discord and stuff. We'll definitely be in contact.
Cool.
All right. Thanks again, guys.
All right. Take care.
Thanks for coming, Dylan. Looking forward to more adventures, man.
See ya.
Okay. So just the boys. All right.
Just the boys. Just you and me now, eh?
Just you and me. Okay. All right. All right. So what are your thoughts on Loki, buddy?
All right, my man. Okay, I gotta set this. Yeah, I gotta set this up real quick.
Oh,
Okay.
shit. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Back in 2011, back in the Wonder Years, which is 10 years ago, I got first exposed to Loki, man, and I thought he was by none an amazingly interesting villain. Like seriously, this was like the beginnings of the MCU, right? And you see this trickster god who sees that his brother is overcome by hoggishness and war and let's do it, man. Let's kill some people. I want to go to war, yeah.
Right.
And then he gets stripped of this power by Odin, right? And when Loki finds out that he is actually Frost, like from Laufey's son, right? The freaking Frost giant's son. The turmoil that you see in his face, it's haunting. He even reprimands his father. Like any sane person, like if you found out that your father was someone else, he was like, and this was kept a secret from you just to maintain peace between worlds, but at the cost of your own sanity, it's a pretty understandable reason to fall off, And by the end, it's not that you completely hate Loki. I didn't completely hate Loki, but he didn't become a legit threat until the Avengers happened. Even then it was a big time. Big, like he had the goddamn Tesseract with him, and then he had the staff. Man, incredible.
He took over Hawkeye. He took over a bunch of like exclusive people in Shield. Yeah, no, he was a threat.
He was a threat. Not only that, but only a threat like this could actually turn around in Thor: The Dark World and actually help out his brother, fake a sacrifice, man. But like, it's not until Thor Ragnarok where you really get to see a bit of remorse with Loki. He's still got that trickster, he's never going to grow up type of thing about him, but he comes to respect his brother as an Odin son, and maybe as a friend, I would say as a friend. And like, the arc that he goes through is something interesting. As I think, aside from Thor having the best character like development around the MCU, I think Loki is the best villain with the development across the MCU, in my opinion, because
makes sense.
Yeah, it would make sense. And now that Thanos freaking snapped his neck, you never be a god, boy. He's dead, and now I don't really know what to expect. The last time I saw him, he was on the floor. My family was crying because they love Loki so much. And, what's next? What's to come? The only thing that I could see is this freaking trailer with, I don't know where it is that this is taking place, but he's alive, apparently. So all I can say is that for that show, I am psyched. I really am excited.
I think it's because he remember in Endgame when they went back in time and he stole the Tesseract and he was like, and then boop, goes back. I wonder because of that. Yeah, no, but I did forget that he died in Endgame because it did show like how Thanos, because this is the first time. I mean, we've seen Thanos in Guardians of the Galaxy, but this is the first time we see like this is him. He's the villain. So the fact that he killed Loki was like, oh, this dude means business.
Yeah, man. Like
to be reckoned with.
And friggin' the fact that like how Hulk says it, how freaking Bruce Banner says it when he uses the Bifrost to actually go back to Earth. He sent Loki. This guy's a big threat. He sent this guy who's already evil enough as it is. This guy's much more evil. He's an eco-terrorist who believes that he's right for the common good. He's a good villain, but he is borderline psychopath. He really is. He's a honest to God psychopath. But like, I don't know, man. Well, what do you want to see out of Loki, the series?
I'm not I don't know. I want to have fun with it. I want to have a lot more fun than I did with Falcon and WandaVision. I want to laugh. I want to be like a classic MCU movie. I just felt that Endgame was the last great MCU entity, in my opinion. Far From Home was okay. WandaVision was just underwhelming, and Captain, well, I already said it, but I would want Loki to be there, to be a lot of funness in there. I also want to be a lot of great acting. That I think there's a lot of potential. I think Tom Hiddleston's a great actor. That's the guy. That's his name, right? The guy.
Yeah, Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
Christian Haydenson.
And
I'm
Christian
just kidding.
Haydenson.
It's Tom Hiddleston.
Hiddle Thompson or something like
Hot Timmelstan.
Hot Timmelstan. But yeah, but I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I love the trailer. I think it's in. We got Owen Wilson in there. Yeah, that's
Wow. Yeah.
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 Yeah, Shanghai Nights all day. Yeah,
Shanghai Nights, man. I'm talking about that Lightning McQueen ka-chow action right there, man. I can't believe this guy is back. I miss this guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I mean, I'm curious. There's not much revealed, but no, I just want to have a lot of fun with this. Really, I'm not really a fan of the Thor side of Marvel or the whole Norse god thing going on there. Like, it's kind of whatever to me. Really, I've never been a fan I just in general, like MCU, Marvel. I wasn't really interested in it. It just seems bland to me. I mean, unless someone wants to change my mind, please tell me which to do. But I mean,
Ragnarok. We gotta watch Thor Ragnarok together. Preferably
Ragnarok was great. That was the best. Yeah, Ragnarok was pretty badass. I liked it a lot because they had a lot of Planet Cult vibes in there. But
and as usual, like what's this guy's name? The Grandmaster. It's freaking
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff
Goldblum. That was awesome.
He's always good for a laugh.
That was as Boris says, that's very nice.
Oh, no worries. He's a friend from work. Talking about Hulk.
Oh no. I was talking about Borat, my bad.
Oh shit. Pamela.
Yeah, no, but that's funny. Yeah, he's a friend from work. Apparently that was I think the story was that there's a kid who came up with the line.
A kid?
Like a little kid. I forgot the story. I don't know if it was like real or not, but it was Gesundheit, sorry. There's a rumor. I'm gonna say there's a rumor because I'm not sure it was right, but I think what happened was there's a kid on set and Chris Hemsworth. I don't know what the connection with the kid, but apparently he suggested like, hey, you should say he's a friend from work. And then that became part of the movie. So I think he said on a talk show. I could be, but it was just nice to hear that they take suggestions from kids.
Give that kid $10,000, man. That's by far one of the funniest jokes in that movie.
Yeah, for sure.
And like, can we talk about Can we talk about the Thor? Yes. Can we talk about the fact that Thor Ragnarok actually like rewrote Thor in a way that, like, I think he rises above Tony Stark when it comes to character development, man. And it throws it over the top with Infinity War. Bro, this guy loses his hammer, he
lost his father, he lost his mom. He got dumped by
Natalie Portwoman.
By Portwoman.
I'm sorry, Port Nipple. I mean, Port.
Hey, whoa!
Sorry, yeah. Peace and love, man. Peace and love.
With Natalie Portwoman.
What is it? Portman.
Portwoman. I'm gonna use that. That was funny. He gets done by Natalie Portwoman. You talk. I can't talk.
Sure, man. Sure. So speaking of Natalie Portnipple, we're talking about Thor, who's gone through so much. He lost the love of his life, right? Well, she didn't die. He got dumped. He lost his father. He lost his mother. He lost his hammer. Like his bigger sister basically broke his favorite toy. You don't mess with that. That's some serious shit, and he even loses an eye at the end of Thor Ragnarok, and bro, like this whole character arc, like he primarily needed his hammer to give him a sense of power, of purpose. That was the whole point of the first Thor movie, Yeah. And to see that element of Thor stripped away from him puts him in a completely different scenario, like without his hammer, how do you channel the energy? Well, he's the god of freaking thunder. Of course, through his body, he's going to channel it. He doesn't need a conduit. He has his body. And Odin says to him, "You're both my sons. You're both my sons. And what you need is right there." Yeah, exactly. And what you need is right What you need is right ahead of you. It's not behind you. Are you a god of thunder or a god of hammers? That's a great line right there. That basically boils down Thor to what he is. Like he's been blinded by the fact that he has Mjolnir beside him. And you know, in freaking End of Ragnarok, he doesn't need it. Except in Infinity War when you actually need it to take down Thanos. But that's the thing. Like Thor really comes a long way in this story, you know, between Thor Ragnarok and Infinity War, he comes a long way, and then Endgame, he turns into a fat piece of shit mush who threatens some guy called Nuke Master 69. I don't know. I was not a fan of what they did with Thor in Endgame. I really wasn't, because I don't know. There was a sense of like, okay, I got Luke Skywalker vibes from The Last Jedi from it, like tearing down all that he was just for a laugh. And you see the emotion in his face, which is why I think Fat Thor is better than Luke from The Last Jedi, because like at the end he proves that he's still worthy. You know, he does this Michael Jackson thing, and then Mjolnir comes back and he's like, I'm still worthy, bro. Yeah. And he goes back in time and yeah, he's still worthy. Yeah. I'm sorry, you talk.
No, it's okay. I am a Fat Thor supporter. Yeah, I like Fat Thor, actually. Bye-bye. All right, guys. No, I mean, I thought it was fun. I mean, I don't know. Like, no, you made a good point. I mean, I've noticed that he also keeps it in. Like, he doesn't break down and cry. He kind of keeps balling up his emotions. Like at moments, like in episode, like Thor Ragnarok, he's like, well, my mother died, my dad died. I apparently have a sister who's about to take over Asgard. Ragnarok is coming. I lost everything I knew. My just all this shit. He's like, but I'm gonna keep going because I know I can. Like he just has that attitude. But I think he does have that. But I think he also just, I think sometimes you need a moment just to break down and realize what the hell's going on, and then take the courage to go from there. But I mean, not in this situation. He obviously goes through it, but I think that happens with Fat Thor. That's how I see it. I know he had binge eating going on, but that's how but yeah, I thought it was I don't know, I thought it was interesting. I mean, it's funny how in the final battle you don't really see his gut anymore. It just, I don't know if he instantly lost weight or I don't know what happened there.
Or if he used a girdle to freaking 6 inches waist back to normal.
I don't know. It was just, yeah, it was funny, but I don't know. I think by when they do As Guardians of the Galaxy, which is the great name.
Let's not forget who's in charge here.
I am.
Yes, of course.
Good. Okay. Yeah. So Loki, I'm happy for it. Loki, I'm interested to see where it goes.
I agree. And I know we talked about this like a year and a half ago with you know, Gabby, Brandon, and Kenny Boy, you know, with the discussion of the Disney Plus series, but like we never got a clear opinion on this. What's your opinion on Hawkeye?
Don't need it. Don't need it. Don't need it. Nothing against Jeremy Renner. I thought he was cool, but I don't think he's someone where we really need a show. Where he's a nice side character to have. He's a good supporter. He's a great supporter. Like, I don't really think Wanda needed a show, to be quite honest, or Vision. I think they were nice. Like, it made sense to have Doctor Strange, like, then Wanda. That makes total sense. But like, Hawkeye should be cool. Like with, like, let's say there's like a Nick Fury movie, have him side. Like, I'm just saying like that, or I just don't really care. I really don't. Like, I don't think anybody I know reads Hawkeye like that. I really don't. I think it's a nice, like, oh, okay, like he's an event. He's from the OG6. He should have something. That's so I think. I think it's that. I really am not. I'm, you know, whatever. I'm very excited for Moon Knight. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm curious of where it's going to be, because that's the one that's actually one of the few Marvel, like, that's actually the one I know a lot about with Moon Knight, actually, because of he's a very gray area. He's like the most, yeah, that's another episode we can talk about. But Hawkeye, I'm not really excited for. Like, what about you?
I mean, Hawkeye in Thor and the Avengers, Hawkeye wasn't really a character that really stuck out to me that much because I don't know, he got possessed by Loki, in the Avengers, and then like he caused major troubles in the helicarrier, of course, but like he didn't get much of a chance to show himself off in Avengers. I think in Avengers Age of Ultron, he shined a little bit more as, the glue that keeps everybody together. Like, and I think this is why I think Avengers Age of Ultron has aged much better than any of the other movies so far, because
you get it.
The what?
Get it? Because Age of Ultron aged good.
Yeah, I get it, man. What a kill me. But anyway, like I think the best showing of what each character represents is in the first 20 minutes where they're in the Stark Tower, right? And this freaking jazz Buddy Richard this freaking fast-paced jazz music comes in, and each one tries to lift Thor's hammer. And how they try to lift it says a lot about who they are, and freaking Tony Stark has, it's physics, right, physics. He uses his armor to freaking try and pull it up. He wants to use, he understands that he is but a normal man with the brain. Of course, he's the brain of the operation, but his suit is a conduit by means to apply that freaking brain to the real world, and fight crime and beat the shit out of Ultron. But Captain America, the way Captain America lifts that hammer, right? It bunches just a bit, just to show that he is worthy of being the leader of this team. Of course, Hawkeye. Let's see, Hawkeye in this scene, he tries to lift it, but everyone's just like, it's okay, Barton. We don't blame you if you can't get it up. A funny joke, which is it's cool, but. In the beginning, he's treated a little bit like the butt of the joke, but he's got some really badass moments, especially against Wanda and Quicksilver as well, like when, I tried the whole possessed thing, he electrocutes Wanda, stopping her dead in the tracks, but then Quicksilver just punches him, yeah. And then I think the good, a good representation of Hawkeye's character is when he brings them all to, Sanctuary, his home. He provides a home where we can all just recollect our thoughts, regroup, see how everything is going. And even Linda Cardellini, like Hawkeye's freaking wife, Vilma, she comes in and says, yo, dog, you're the glue that holds these things together. You know what I mean? You got to keep it G. And he's like, you right, bitch.
Is that really how she said it?
Yes, that's exactly point for point how she said it. But yeah, that's my point. And he only gets better to me, Hawkeye was one of the best characters in Endgame with the best arcs, the best motivation for turning into Ronin, not the accuser, but Ronin, the cool ninja guy, but he is, and the fact that he has to make the sacrifice, like sacrificing his best friend, Black Widow, to the ravine in order to gain that Infinity Stone. That hits hard, It's not better than Infinity War, but in Endgame, that's one of the main emotional points. And I personally did feel something there. It was awesome, and he does have some badass slashing moments, taking on these weird alien Thanos guys, and all that stuff. Yeah.
The Chitauri.
The Chitauri, yes. And after how we leave off with Hawkeye is that he comforts Wanda, saying that he's in a better place. He's got a heart. He was a really cool guy. Yeah. And asking about Vision as well. Are you okay? Maybe. And so you see how these two characters are going to branch off. Wanda, we know from WandaVision, is going to turn completely insane, go on this whole little cuckoo world where Vision exists and everything is hunky-dory. Hawkeye, I'm actually curious as to where he goes, because we know Black Widow's got a prequel movie coming up, which is all good, all right, but I think it's 2 years too late.
Yeah, I agree. I think she should have been the first female superhero to get a film in the MCU, not Captain Marvel.
But no, we needed Captain Marvel because she's the best.
No.
No, she's not.
Nothing against nothing against Brie Larson. It's just I keep saying the actors and nothing against. It's just
it's wooden plank. It's plank from Ed, Edd n Eddy. That's how I can describe it.
Yeah, I think we should end off because we're getting pretty a lot going on. But no, I just want to say thanks guys for watching us. We talked a lot about Marvel, more than I thought we would. But no, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, all thanks to the all new nerds for joining us, my man's Johnny. Well, Levi, not rest in peace, but I hope you're doing well. Hope we meet each other in the next one, of course, my man. Yes, and
Dylan, yeah.
And Dylan, of course. Thank you so much for joining us, and looking forward to more adventures, man.
Absolutely, and well, thank you for joining me, Chilean Mister 305, boys who crack.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Let's end this cancer.
Let's end. Yeah, I think we should end it. But thanks guys for watching it, and yeah, it was a good times. But no, let's just be on the lookout for more episodes in the next coming days.
Yeah. All new things, we're all juiced up. We're ready to go, not on steroids, but we're juiced up with energy, ready to put out some more content for you guys. Happy to do it.
Absolutely. All right. I'm gonna end this.
What is even up with this thing, man?